Hello, Mr. Raka.
I'm with you.
Thank you for joining us this morning, and we welcome all our viewers today. We are here to discuss about the three candidates, the three leading candidates: Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So right now, some Nigerians are complaining they are not satisfied with the candidates, especially the running mates. So let's do the analysis, Mr. Raka. Yesterday, I brought Mr. Sani and Daniel to the program. Even late night, around 2 o'clock, we are still on live broadcast, 2 o'clock Nigerian time. So let's dive into this today. Mr. Raka,
Yeah.
first of all, Peter Obi.
hmm. First and
Big.
foremost, before I jump into Peter Obi, I just finished watching the program that involved Mr. Sani and Daniel Lindsay. You see, one thing that differentiates me and them is the fact that I don't have the heart to accommodate hate. I don't hate the Fulanis, I don't hate the Yorubas, I don't hate the Igbos. Because if you accommodate hate, the tendency of you to be biased will always be there. So what I want is what is best for Nigeria. And in my own little calculation, I may be wrong, but based on my uh, some summative appraisal, I have my candidate, and it's a choice and an inalienable right of me to have a candidate. Having said that, yeah, we have had primaries and presidential flag bearers have emerged. And we have talked so much about their possibilities and their candidacy or candidature to the esteemed presidential seat in Aso Rock for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now they have all picked their um, running mates. Even though the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has or made the role of the presidency, the role of the vice presidency of Nigeria rather somewhat insignificant. But for purpose of discussing, we are going to discuss them because we have had since the 1999 constitution, we have had about 3 to 4 vice presidents, and they have not made any significant changes. As a matter of fact, the only vice president who made his vice presidency somewhat relevant was Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, because he gave Obasanjo a run for his money as a vice president. And that only occurred because, like I said in previous interview, based on the political arrogance of the North. They don't believe that any Southerners should run over them or control them as they control us. Now, I've said my preliminaries. Well, I was made to understand because as soon as I heard the running mate for Peter Obi, I quickly made some phone calls and made some inquiries. Now, INEC gave them a deadline that is supposed to elapse today. It's today 15th. Yesterday was 15th. Okay, yeah. So INEC gave them the 15th of June for all presidential aspirants to name their uh, running mate. So I think in the heat of not able to arrive at uh, meet the deadline, they quickly picked. Okay, 15th was Wednesday, right? Okay. So okay, I think it should be 16 because the the deadline actually elapsed yesterday. And either 15th or 16th. Either way, there was a deadline given by INEC. So in order to meet the deadline, they had to pick somebody they call a placeholder. Just like when you go to a party and you are not ready to be in the party yet, but you wanted a seat. So that when the party actually commences in Nigeria here, you put a purse or a handkerchief or a flyer, something just to peg that seat down that you are coming back to sit on that seat. So that's what APGA and indeed APC did. They just put somebody there to show that they pick some. Because the truth is that the Nigerian constitution also offers that as time goes on, you can actually change those running mates. So I was even made to understand that even Atiku that has picked Okowa as running mate is not even a substantive. That means anything can happen, and before the runoff of the election, he too he too can be changed. So for now, I think all the three presidential candidates have just picked substantive. I don't know if substantive is a placeholders. People who are just meant to peg a place before the actual running mates are announced. Now, that does not mean that they might not eventually settle for these choices, but for now, this is what we are. But I can concretely tell you that Doyin Okupe is not the final choice of the Labour Party. It's just a temporary placeholder before because in case you don't know, Labour Party and NNPP, there are talks going on to form a merger, and perhaps that talks of the merger is going to overlap the deadline of INEC to choose a running mate. So, and I also think that the idea of doing your Okupe now is just to stir up attention, because you and I know that a Christian candidacy, it's like it would be a cold day in hell for a Christian candidacy to win an election, presidential election in Nigeria. You understand me? And yesterday in your program, I saw them talking about a Muslim candidacy. But then this is not the topic for today. I actually watched it today and I was thinking that it was live. So I was calling in.
It's actually topic of today. We are going to do the analysis of their candidate, their running mate.
Okay, the Muslim candidate of APC.
Muslim.
Okay. Let me. So for now, if Labour Party picks Doyin Okupe, they should just go and rest. I will, instead of wasting my energy to campaign for PDP, I will campaign for Atiku Abubakar. Let's just agree that we are under the Islamic Caliphate of the Fulani Kaaba. Instead of wasting my vote to campaign for Bill, it's not going to fly. A Christian candidate will not fly.
It will not fly, yes. So the same thing yesterday, we were criticizing APC for picking Muslim-Muslim. So what do you think about this Muslim-Muslim ticket?
Now, analyzing the APC Muslim-Muslim ticket will not be the same thing as analyzing the Labour Party Christian ticket. I am very sure, 100% sure that the choice of Doyin Okupe is just a rush decision to meet the deadline of INEC to pick a vice president. That's not going to be the final. That's not going to be the final duo that will contest for this.
Mr. Raka, how popular Peter Obi is in the north? Do you think he will be able to find a charismatic political leader in the north as his vice?
Now, this is by far the most intelligent question you have asked since I've been on this program. Now, let me tell you the reason why a lot of us Southerners we are yet to come to terms with the political psychology of the north. We are yet to come to terms. We still think there are rational Muslims. We still think there are rational Muslim or rational Northerners in the north. The truth is that every Northerner knows that Peter Obi is the better choice among the three options we have. They know it. But the idea that what has already been established in the north as Nigeria, same land, will be adulterated or upturned by the emergence of an Igbo presidency will turn the whole of the northern political psychology upside down. So in order to maintain that ideology of Nigeria Semalam, in case you don't know what Nigeria Semalam is, Nigeria Semalam means Nigeria can only be ruled by a Muslim faithful. You get me?
Okay.
Now,
that's the meaning of Nigeria
That's the
say
meaning
malam.
of that's the meaning of Nigeria say malam. Now I'm not making these things up. It's a popular cliche here. It's a popular, everybody knows it. Now, it is this cliche that guides every Muslim voter. So it doesn't care about whether you are talking about percentages of inflation, how our according to Peter Obi, our power grid is supposed to be generating. Our power grid is still generating 7.5 megawatts, whereas Egypt is generating 45 megawatts. Now, these realities cannot sink in the mind of an average northern voter who believes that Nigeria, same malam. It's going to be very, very difficult. So we are talking about Tinubu's choice. Now, I'm made to understand. Now, before Tinubu picked his candidate, because I knew very well that one thing the Yoruba, the Southwest, are finding it difficult to accept is that to an average northern man, whether you are a Yoruba Muslim, Yoruba Christian, Yoruba Muslim-Muslim, Yoruba Muslim, anyhow you want, whether Yoruba, Sango, whatever faith you choose, as far as the Hausa man is concerned, the Yoruba is just a necessary tool to get to power. They don't value a Muslim Yoruba man. In fact, in the north here, a typical Hausa man or a Fulani man will never accept a Yoruba Muslim scholar to head a mosque in the north. But for some reason, the Yoruba Muslim find it irresistible to perpetually support their Muslim brothers in the north as against the general interest of the south. And it is that mentality of the Yoruba man, of the Muslim Yoruba man, that the north is capitalizing on to consistently have advantage over the polity of Nigeria. Now, I knew eventually that APC was going to choose a Muslim candidate, because that's the only thing that will endear the north. Because in the first place, the status of Tinubu as a Muslim man does not resonate with the political environment of the north. So, Tinubu can go to Saudi Arabia more times than the average northerner in the north. It makes nothing. You are a Yoruba man, you're not a Fulani man, you're not a Hausa man. So your Muslim candidacy makes nothing to the north. If he picks a Christian candidate, ordinarily by the current realities of our religious bias, is that at least for purpose of proper representation, we should have one Muslim presidency and one Christian vice president. Even their chief, even their commander-in-chief of religious nepotism, even bow down to that reasoning when he chose Osibanjo as vice president. I think what informed the APC to dare, that's D-A-R-E, to dare the sensitivities of Nigeria, because they are the ones in power. They are the ruling party. And APC was formed under the agenda of Islamization of Nigeria. So I think they want to dare this theory to see if indeed they could just carry the whole to its conclusive end. That is exactly what they are trying to test the waters. But then again, nobody has the power to predict the future. The future is not right. So now they have dared Nigerians. It's going to be Tinubu, a Muslim man, and what's his name? I didn't even care to listen. You're distracting me. I didn't even care to listen to the name of the guy, because Muslim candidate, no for me. As a matter of fact, I want it to remain like that, because don't forget, there was a time a Buhari dared the polity of Nigeria to vote on the basis of Muslim for Muslim, Christian for Christian. That was in 2011. Buhari dared Nigerian that all Muslims should vote for Muslims and all Christians should vote for Christians. And when that eventually became true,
He officially
everyone,
said that.
yes,
Officially.
it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's not. It's not. I don't say things that are not true. He said it that Muslims should vote their own.
Mm-hmm.
That was the exact. Muslims should vote their own. That was what enraged the Christian community. That in 2011, all Christians now voted for Jonathan, including the Christians in the north. And I will tell you on this program that the reason why the Christians in the north are suffering today, are suffering persecution from the Islamic jihadists, is because of their sudden decision to change their voting pattern. Because all this while, what actually marks the voting strength of the north is the voting strength of the Christians in the north. The Christians in the north before 2011 has always consistently voted along the pattern of the northern vote. And for the first time, the Christians in the north separated their votes from the Muslim votes in the north. And that's why they are undergoing persecution till today. You get me? So, for Tinubu, I think Tinubu wants to dare the religious psychology of the polity of Nigeria now by daring. I think APC, not Tinubu. APC want to dare again, just as they dared the political, the religious, the religious card of 2011. They want to dare it. This is 2022, Abi. They want to dare it 11 years after to see if it can fly again. So, and I want to tell them that the only thing that because the truth is this, even though even the Islamic community in Nigeria are denying that fact, there are more Christians in Nigeria than Muslims. But the Christians are not the one in power. The Christians are not the influencers of the architect or of the architecture of Nigeria, and therefore it erroneously seems as if Muslims are more. That's not true. Now they want to dare that same thing again, and I'll tell that if they dare it again, it's going to be even far more visible than it was in 2011. In fact, all this idea of people go and get your voter's card, it's for one thing. It's for what APC is trying to do. Because the truth is that Christians really don't mind if it's Muslims that are ruling. We really don't mind. I don't mind. But if you want to make it as a signature that it is the inalienable right of Muslims to control this country, then you are going to provoke the sentiments of Christians in Nigeria. And along that line, Christians will vote to ensure that such bold-faced idea or agenda does not see the light of day. And I think beyond that, it's an unspoken resolve. That is why Christians are not taking it up. Yesterday in your program, I'm seeing people analyzing the chances of Peter Obi, no structure, no Senate, no this, no that. Let me tell you, there wasn't a structure. There wasn't a structure when NSAS took place. There wasn't a structure. There wasn't a leader. There wasn't finances. The people took it upon themselves to start something. And let me tell you, any organization.
Mr. Oraka, with your analysis right now, it seems that you are trying to campaign for Peter Obi. Can we?
Okay, let me stop it there. Let me stop it there.
Because with the political structure of Nigeria, how can Labour Party compete with APC and PDP? It's going to be really
then again, you blame me on one side that I'm campaigning. Hello. You blame me on one side. No, you can't drop a statement. You can't drop a statement and not allow me to respond to the statement. You just caution me that I'm campaigning for Peter Obi, and I say, okay, I withdraw. Then again, in your responsive statement, you now say, how can Labour Party win? You're also demarketing Labour Party on your show, and I will not stand to accept that.
No, listen, I'm just asking you a question. How popular?
Okay, I will answer the question, right? I'm going to answer the question.
Look, even the blind can see in Nigeria.
Will I answer the question? Will I answer the question?
Very bitter. I'm asking.
It's not about truth. It's not about truth being very bitter. Are you saying? Then I'm going to ask you how Peter. If you're going to go on that lane, then I'm going to answer to you how Peter Obi can win an election without a structure.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, fine. Let me tell you. What do we mean by structure? We simply mean by a concrete representation in majority of the states. And what are the representation? Offices, secretariats. Like in Plateau State now, we have the secretariat of PDP, we have the secretariat of APC. Now, the purpose of those secretariats is is like a rallying point for people to come and plan in these different units on how to get people to vote. You get me? Now, right now, the structure of Labour Party is the conviction of the masses that both APC and PDP has failed the expectation of the masses. That is the one most singular structure that is driving Peter Obi. Now, you cannot compare the structure of conviction. Please underline the word conviction to mere buildings and positions in states. People are angry. That's a structure. People want to change the idea that people in my own days, in my existence, I don't know when I'm going to die, but I've witnessed that people can actually use money to buy themselves into recognition. You call that structure. People can actually spend billions of naira to buy themselves into recognition. You call that structure. And then the man who says he cannot use this same system to come into recognition, you say he doesn't have culture, and then you write him off. If he is not relevant in this scheme of things, why are we talking about him? Then we should be emphasizing on Atiku and with Tinubu alone. It is because there is a likelihood that you wake up today and we are talking. It's not only three of them. It's not only these three candidates that are contesting for presidency in Nigeria. In case you don't know, we have Omole Sowore contesting. Why are we not talking about Sowore? We have other we have the NPP candidate Kwankwaso also contesting. Why are we not talking about him? So if we can include Peter Obi among the tripartite options available to Nigeria.
Yeah, they are the three leading political parties in Nigeria. That's why.
So why we talk about him if there's no hope for him? We should take him out and not be talking about Peter Obi again. If there's no hope for Peter Obi, then we shouldn't even include him. Then they are not then Peter Obi should not be among the three front runners. But this is why we are talking. If you say, okay, these are the three likely, it means both of them have chances. But then we will be only be hypocritical or speaking from both sides of the mouth or lying to ourselves to say that, okay, we agree that one has no hope, but yet in every discussion we always bring him inside. Are we not being hypocritical here? So there's a likelihood if the people look, they say democracy is a system for the people, by the people, and for the people. And one of the biggest structure in politics is what Peter Obi has, and that is the people. I rest my case. Didn't plan this, so I've sent my boy to go and call at random in Plateau here. Just don't tell him what I'm calling for at random, so that you see. You see, it's like some of you living abroad are not in touch with how people are angry.
I know that people are angry. Me too, I'm angry. I believe that Peter Obi is the only hope. But
now you are looking at
Sowore of Nigeria right now.
Hold on, madam. Hold on, calm down now. You are a host. Now me they talk. You have to ask question. Me I will talk. You will ask question. I will talk. See, let me tell you.
You have been 26 minutes. You have been talking alone since.
But that's the idea now. I'm supposed to talk. You ask question. I will talk. You invite me here to talk. You have to ask question. You are not supposed to talk. Yeah. See. My sister, the situation of Peter Obi is different from the situation of Sowore. Sowore's issue was just one individual who did Sahara Reporters helped the current government Buhari regime to bring down Jonathan and made a lot of money because they needed to bring Jonathan at all costs, and they pumped billions of naira to that channel. In fact, everything we learned about Jonathan came from Sahara Reporters, and they paid Sowore some huge money. And for a poor man, a hungry man who suddenly saw billions of naira in his account, he felt the billions he had in his small meager account was enough for him to start thinking to become Nigeria's president. Comparing Sowore and Peter Obi, or comparing APC and Nurse whom all supporting, so you get me? It's wrong. You understand me? It's very, very wrong. So these are two different scenarios. Peter Obi, in the case of Peter Obi is just like a beacon on which the Nigerian populace are focusing their anger and displeasure on the failure of APC and PDP. You should not take that one out. That is
yes,
what
that
is.
one I agree with you. I agree.
That is what. That
Mr.
is what is
Raka,
driving.
one thing you don't understand about me, and one thing you don't. I'm very
okay.
neutral.
I beg. Come, you can speak
talk.
English, go.
Let me talk.
Okay, I beg. No, let me bring somebody because he will soon. No, sure, we are here now. We are not running now. Come and sit down. Come and sit down. Okay. I beg, ask him. Wait.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Have I seen you today?
No.
You have, what's your tribe?
Lantern.
Yes, Lantern where? What's the Lantern South? Have you not?
South.
Is that from Kaduna State?
No, Plateau.
Okay, so please, I beg, talk when you are finished with him. Tell him to bring me in. I just picked him.
Good day, man.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, my eyes work, man.
This is very nice.
Yeah.
You know, we are glad to have you on the program today. So we are debating on the three political parties in Nigeria right now. So
okay,
you live in Plateau State, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us your views about this upcoming election. Who do you think will win Plateau State?
Peter Obi.
Peter Obi is very popular in Plateau State as we are speaking, right?
Yeah, man.
How many percentage of people are Christians in Plateau State?
In Plateau, 95.
95 are Christian, right?
Yes, man.
Okay, 95 people. Let's say 95% of Plateau.
Very well.
Okay, are Christians. So, which means majority in Plateau, majority of the people in Plateau are Christians. So you know that Peter Obi is a Christian. So therefore, we are expecting.
Why are you supporting Peter Obi? Why?
Because he's a nice man.
Is it because he's Igbo?
No, it's not because he's Igbo.
Okay. Why?
But the question I've already asked is the majority in Plateau State is Christian. So therefore, we are expecting him to gain more popularity in Plateau State, Mr. Oraka. So let's sample opinions. Let's sample opinions from like Kanu, Kaduna, Sokoto.
Yes.
So that is the thing. I know what I'm talking about here. Let's sample more opinions from those states dominated by Muslims and let's say Hausa and Fulanis. So let's sample opinion. Plateau State is middle belt. And
so why are you not going to vote for APC? Why are you not voting for APC?
The majority. What's your name again?
My name is Binfa.
Deacon. Okay. You are a Christian, right?
Yeah, Binfa Solomon.
Spell it.
Oh, Binfa Solomon. Thank you. So you are a Christian. You have a Christian background, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So your parents too are planning to vote. Your parents too are planning to vote for Peter Obi, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you have any insight about this upcoming election, tell us. What do you think?
Nothing.
Nothing. So you believe that Peter Obi is the man, right?
Yes, he's a man. He's a man on top.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry for stressing you. Hello?
Yes.
So you can hello, are you there?
Yes, Mr. Raka, go ahead.
So you can see this was somebody I picked at random. I never planned. This wasn't the guy. It was random. I never planned with him. He never. So you can see people are angry. In Plateau State here, I told you that there are villages that here there are people that have lost fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters. They go reach like how many here? So many of them. Almost every single person where I'm staying here has lost an individual. had lost somebody under this APC administration. You want them to vote APC again? So a lot of people are angry. They don't. It's like with Tinubu, it's like somebody who a snake has bitten in the afternoon, and then you are dangling rope for him in the evening. That's what they understand. There's no hope. There's no trust again with APC. There's no trust with PDP. You understand? So the issue of structure here is it doesn't matter. It's the people. It's the people that matters. So that is what I can go and pick another random person again. Random, they should go and look for another random person again. It's the same thing they will tell you here. You understand me? So
we would like to hear from another random person. That guy you brought it.
Can I go and find another random person? Please, it should not be another. Pick another random person.
So lovely, it's so lovely.
Don't tell him what the topic is all about. To say your dad, please. They find another random person again. I beg. If it's a lady, myself, if I don't mind those local women that sell sakara. Hello. Find one woman that sells akara, that sells akamu. Just everyday local women. Those women that will stay 10 hours inside the polling unit. And don't tell him what we are talking about. You see, this is what in the situation of Showore, it wasn't his time. It wasn't his time. And he made whatever party he came from about himself. It was about him. He didn't allow, he made it about himself. You get me? He was talking about that Peter Obi should come and he's arrogant. But people have listened to Peter Obi. He has talked about the problem. He has talked about everything.
You know what happened? Could you believe that Arise TV, they criticized him for condemning Peter Obi? They criticized him, Ishaware. They criticized Ishaware. Oh my God. They played that video.
Hold on. Did you see on that person? Let me bring my wife to come and sit down. Let's get a female. You've never come and sit down. Don't worry. When you say no, come and sit. You know, say women, women, she never put lipstick, put makeup. You guys are a problem, I'm telling you. No random person again. Obaro, come and sit down. Wear something and come and sit down. I just want to give you as many. Obaro, come and sit here. He's coming. He's a 16-year-old. Just see him.
If find somebody outside, you know your family, they are all part of your ideology.
Okay.
They will say the same thing as you. So we want a neutral person.
Okay, Obaro, come please, just walk down to the transformer. Just see anybody, how many of those young boys, tell him that it's me, that please, I beg him to come. You get me? Or Taylor won't come. Just beg him that I say, please, I'll find them something. That I'll give them something, they should come. I'll find them something.
If you are watching right now, guys, we are trying to sample opinions from
just even if there are 3, if there are 4, bring them. Just that Nekpe will give them something, not me. That will give them something. You understand me? Especially those that they've killed one of their loved ones, bring one of them. Anybody that has lost a loved one. Because if I'm saying this, you look as if I'm just making things up.
I believe, Mr. Raka, with what that young guy just said, I believe you. But what I'm saying, I will repeat. Maybe you didn't listen to me when I was saying it.
No, he was putting on an earpiece. I couldn't hear your question, but I was just hearing his response.
Okay, I said that. So what I said is that if you ask me right now who is capable of managing Nigeria, I will tell you Peter Obi. Psychologically and physically, he's fit with his experience and his track record in Nigeria. He's fit, his antecedent. There's no doubt that Peter Obi is the most capable candidate right now in Nigeria. But with this APC and PDP, they are like the witchcraft behind his campaign. That is what I'm
It's money. It's just money. They're going to, in fact, never in the history of Nigerian politics will you see money being spent. What was spent on the primaries is just a child's play. You will see money, as in money. Ego, you will see money being displayed. But then there's a limit to what money can buy. If the will of the people is genuine, you can't use money to buy it. So we will take this money, we will eat it. You get me? And then we will Please just tell them that it's me or that I'm begging them to come. Some of them are shy. And these are the people that we spend 3 hours or 4 hours on the queue voting that day. I want a typical local woman they sell akara. Because that's one that will convince you, make you swear, make you tell me what this structure do. Forget structure. When people are angry, is anyone? Nobody's coming. Who is that?
Okay, so
Let's wait.
okay.
That small boy. Kai.
It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay, Mr. Raka. Not that we don't believe you. We believe you. We
Okay.
believe you.
So this is because you I know when you are asking me the questions, you are finding it difficult to measure the popularity of Peter Obi in the north.
But you are not in the north. I asked that boy. You didn't listen. I'm not sure because you are not wearing that earpiece. Let me tell you. Let me tell you what I to ask him. I asked him who are the majority, Christians or Muslims. He told me that the Christians are the majority in Plateau
They are 95.
State.
Yeah,
You know
almost 95%.
That we have to shape the opinions of the people. If majority, according to him, said 90-something percent of the people are Christians, which means Peter will get more ground in Plateau State. I was saying that we should go sample opinions from like Sokoto, Kanu, Kaduna, you know.
Of course, so Peter Obi will not win. Peter Obi will not win places like that.
That's what I was trying to say, you know. I'm not saying that Peter Obi is the most capable candidate right now. We all know. Without a PDP and APC, Peter Obi would have won this election so easy like this. But PDP with their corruption, election malpractices, how can Peter Obi compete with them? That is what we are afraid of.
That's the truth. But then the only thing, it's a good question again. It's a very good. How can the truth is that you see, it's amazing that Nigerians have become used to the fact that all these things that these politicians did in public, it's enough to arrest them. They're supposed to be rotting in jail by spending so much money. How do you spend? If I don't think even the Obama administration spent so much money on primaries. Do you know what it means to give each delegate $75,000 times 2,000? 75,000. That's about 75 times 2,000. That is $75 million. You mean there's an individual? We're not talking about those that was given to party chairman, party representative, because you have to give the 36 states party chairman their own. So there's somebody in Nigeria can take about $75 million and just give it away for just primary election until we get to the re-election. So we must tell Nigerians that, look, the idea that people can actually buy their way into recognition and continue to rule us, that means the devil can just leave hell and come in and say, okay, I have the money, vote me, and I'm going to rule you. Nothing good comes out of evil, and no evil comes out of good. The thing is that let's give somebody who have not been in the corridors of power to rule this in. Let's see something new. Sure, we were the one who shouted change 8 years ago. Now that the real change is here, why are we shying away from it? If it is not hypocrisy, why are we shying away from it? So let's give. Somebody has told you where people are busy going underground, finding how to become president. Somebody's out there to studying Egypt, how their powers, how they were able to generate from 4 megawatts to 45 megawatts. Whereas Nigeria, who has more money than Egypt, more population than Egypt, was still on 7 megawatts. And then you are saying that these people that are there just using money to get themselves to recognition have more chances than those who is genuinely showing you that he knows that the underlining failure of any country is their inability to generate enough power to meet the developmental requirements of that country. And he's just studying how they're able to do it, so that if in the event he becomes president, the first thing he's going to do is how to ensure that there's stable power supply to generate any development. The man that is doing welder cannot have power to weld. The banks can now depend on power to do you know how much banks spend on diesel oil daily to remain connected on power? You know it. You know how much hotels in Nigeria are spending on power. If it's as let me tell you something, the first day I visited my uncle in Festac town, once it is in the evening around 5, 6, the amount of smoke that you'll be inhaling there is something. Why? Because everybody has their generator on. In fact, in one small compound of one plot that has about 5 tenants, first there's noise pollution and there's smoke pollution. Everybody has their joint generator on and everybody's inhaling carbon monoxide because our power system is down. And if indeed we must go up, our power must start functioning. Look, these issues we are talking about is very sensitive. And God knows I am in this program not being sentimental. You get me? I'm just saying it that look, it's time we gave people who can actually manage the affairs of this country the opportunity to do so. If we begin to stamp in our mind the inhibitions, like no structure, no Senate president, no this, no that, are we saying that because of these inhibitions, we are cursed to settle on these same devils that are not interested in the growth of this country? Yes, somebody said, Atiku said he's going to privatize the nation's economic infrastructure. But even though you privatize the structure without adequate regulation, we are still back to square one. When government was managing NEPA, it was cheap for the common masses. Now that you have privatized it, it is expensive for the masses, and yet the masses got less than what they were paying when it was cheap. They are getting the service. Yeah.
Mr. Raka, could you believe we are here discussing, something important? Some people are leaving extremely funny comments in the comment section. I'm going to read one for you. You won't believe how some Nigerians are thinking. I'm so disappointed. Let me read this. I just sampled some of the comments right now. I'm going to read this one. There will be no election in 2023. If there is election, the election would be cancelled. Oh, please don't leave comment now. The election will be cancelled. The next Nigerian president will be interim president. It is between Dr. Adesina, Pastor Tude Bakare, and Fayemi. You won't believe. I told you that this comment is
I wasn't finding it funny. I wasn't finding it funny until the end. You see, these people, don't blame them. You see, Nigeria has become so messed up. Nigeria has become so messed up that the very nucleus of our psychology is affected. The very nucleus that enables us to reason rationally has been affected. There are those groups that have been affected by pure hatred, like my friend Daniel Kinsey. I understand his hatred. I understand his annoyance. But hatred is a disease. If you allow it to sink into you, it destroys you. And what I see with the young man is that the man has allowed hatred to destroy him. I don't like what IPOB is doing. I don't like what is happening in the Southeast. As a matter of fact, if I hinge on those things that are happening, I will not even speak for an Igbo man. In fact, I'll tell Peter Obi to go. But God has a way of doing his own thing. If you look in the Bible, if you're an ardent Christian person, you realize that every work of God in the Bible has been different from what man predicted. Can you imagine God picking a stammerer to go and tell Pharaoh, let my people go? But God wasn't looking at God wasn't looking at his inhibitions. It was looking at the innate content in him, the ability that he once lived in the palace, so he has kingly features and he knows how to speak like a king. And it was only Moses that can speak to Pharaoh as at that time, because Pharaoh was his younger brother when he was in the palace, but he couldn't speak. And to curtail his inhibition, his speaking inhibition, God now attached him with Aaron. I can't speak. You do the speaking. I will talk. You tell me what I spoke. Do you know? In fact, I don't want to be a pastor because I'm not a pastor. But you see, I know that anytime God wants to give us something, he brings something from nowhere. Who knew Jonathan? Who was Jonathan? But God knew that the only way he can make Jonathan to become president of Nigeria is the way he did. So the truth is that God also what I was very angry when Peter Obi left PDP. I was very, very angry. But come to think of it, if Peter Obi had remained in PDP, he would not have even come third. They would have disgraced him. But something pushed him to leave. And today, people are talking about him. On one side of your mouth, you say it's irrelevant. On one side of the mouth, you can't stop talking about him. If it's not relevant, stop talking about him. People are angry.
Mr.
People
Raka,
are angry, and that is his one singular structure. If he breaks it down by doing one fault, you know, a structure built on one pillar is easier to fall than a structure built on many pillars. The advantage that APC and PDP has that they had many structures, so they can afford to do many mistakes and still remain relevant. But for Peter Obi, he has just one structure, and that is the masses. If he does one mistake, and on your program yesterday, which Daniel Inze was asking, I like the fact that he asked that question. And I'm going to say, is it not good for us that the atrocities in the Southeast have tremendously reduced on this account of obedient campaign or whatever? The killings have stopped. The sit at home have stopped. The Southeast now is no longer the haven for breaking news. Don't you like it? It shows that they are not really what we say they are. Something is driving them. So if the country works normally, it means that everywhere is going to work well. Do you even also know that even in the northwest, everything has stopped because it's an election period? So my resolve is this, that there is nothing wrong with Nigeria, actually. There's nothing wrong with the northwest. There's nothing wrong with the southeast. There's nothing wrong with the southwest. It's just that we have a problem of leadership. We want a leader that can knit all these differences together and divide us from religious and tribal proclivities. If we can do that, we are okay.
Mr. Raka, I'm going to ask one question, and I know that it's going to be really controversial. You won't like this. You know, I was saying the other day that APC and PDP, given that the two candidates are very old, so that they should pick a VP that is capable of managing Nigeria in case of any emergency. Emergency like what happened during the time of Goodluck Jonathan when Yaradua, was it not Yaradua, the president that died in office?
Yeah,
okay. So that they should pick a meaningful candidate, running mates, in case of any emergency, the running mate that is capable to manage Nigeria as a president. Because what happened during the time of Goodluck Jonathan, to be honest, Nigeria as a country under his regime experienced the worst corruption. So
you can't say worse. Are you saying that the Jonathan corruption is worse than the Buhari corruption?
Yes, worse than. Yes.
Are you saying Jonathan's corruption is worse? Oh my, I'm disappointed. Very, very disappointed.
Mr. Raka.
Very extremely disappointed. No. I will not accept that. That's not true. That's not true.
Let me finish. Let me explain why I said Nigeria as a country experienced the worst corruption. At that time, the time of Goodluck Jonathan, because it's not firm enough, this man is not tough enough to deal with Nigerians. How many people did Goodluck Jonathan?
Jonathan was not firm enough, and yet he locked Cecilia Ibru of Oceanic Bank. Cecilia Ibru of Oceanic Bank was, since this corruption, how many people has Buhari jailed on account of corruption? Goodluck Jonathan is not firm.
During his regime, Dazani Madweke, that woman, she was playing with the lives of Nigerians. The money
in fact, it's just a magic. This Sahara reporters, you see, I would not stand to fall. You're just a victim of the propaganda machinery of
I don't have a friend. I don't have enemy among Nigerian politicians. Nobody's my friend. Nobody's my enemy. We have to say it the way it is. Don't say because Goodluck Jonathan is from the south, therefore.
There was a time people abused Jonathan. They was coming to APC. Was coming to APC. Meanwhile, there was
corruption practice.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Jonathan regime was not the worst corruption. It's a lie. I refuse to accept that. It's a huge, blatant, fat lie. The Buhari administration is the worst corruption-infected regime ever in Nigeria. Don't say the Jonathan is worse. Somebody bringing 80 billion. Do you want this 80 billion? 80 billion dollars.
I'm not saying that Nigeria is not experiencing corruption.
The Buhari administration is the worst corrupt infected regime in Nigeria, not Jonathan.
When Buhari came to office, the first thing was to arrest some of the politicians that embezzled money. I did analysis.
Only Christians and Southerners. How many northern corrupt leaders did he accept?
Sambo Dasuki.
Dasuki. This woman don't know anything. I will just I will not comment on this corruption thing. Let's talk about the candidates.
Mr. Oraka, I'm saying it now that when they are choosing their running mate, they should ensure that a running mate that is capable of managing Nigeria in case of any emergency.
Let me tell you, these two candidates, Atiku and Atiku, they will never pick any candidate that is because Atiku PDP now believe that he must pick from the south. They will never pick any. You are distracting me now. They will never pick any southerner that is assumed to be firm. They will not do. They will not do that.
They will not. Yes, that's what I was saying.
So you get me. So they will not do that because they will not want a situation whereby there is an unconscious comparison between them and their running mate. I will give you an example. There was a time Buhari left out for medical distance, and Asubanjo was in charge of the country for 3 months. In 3 months, as if it was a touch of magic wand, everything changed. There was peace and there was love in 3 months, and they asked Buhari to come back. And as soon as he came back, things went. As soon as he came back, things went back to how it used to be. So the North will never choose a firm person in the South. They know how. Till tomorrow, I'm going to make a research on how they are able to identify idiots from the South. It's like they're in abundance and they know how to identify them.
But Atiku wanted to pick Wike, but he rejected. That's what people are saying.
And I respect the fact that Wike, see, for the first time by my own estimation, we now have a powerhouse politician in the South. Not all the Akpabio who, after small shaking, you just carve in and you just change party. You don't mess with Peter Obi. You don't mess with Wike. You don't mess with him. You understand me? And I like the fact that he's making himself as not a cheap person that will run. I like the fact that he refused it. That's fantastic. I doff my heart for him. That's beautiful for me. You understand me? So all these other ones, Okowa says, because of this, you betrayed your own brother because you wanted VP. You asked Delta State to vote for Atiku because they will nominate you. Because if Wike had been presidential flag bearer, he's not going to nominate him. So at the end of the day, everything Okowa did, I'm from Delta State, a very proud Delta State born man. But I will not allow my love for Delta State becloud my mind of what the North is playing. They use you to betray your brother, to rule over you. I saw pictures of his brothers, relations, celebrating. What is there to celebrate for being vice president? Why are we so getting this climax, getting this fictitious erection for being vice? What is there in vice that we celebrate? Can't we just, for one, have this political arrogance of ruling Nigeria or being the ones and we feed this country? Why can't that be enough motivation for us to be the ones in charge? And you see some of us speaking this English, it doesn't matter who rules this country, so long as he's going to perform. Oh, it doesn't matter who rules this country.
Wike would have accepted the VP request.
No. Wike, I love the fact we should have somebody. If we look, I will tell you why it's good that Wike shouldn't accept.
Jonathan became the president of Nigeria because he accepted the VP. Please, Mr. Raka, don't just support.
You are looking at it from that. Must we win president on the account of somebody dying and leaving the space for us? Can't we win presidency from normal political strategy?
Wike needs to be a little bit loyal. It doesn't really matter.
No, forget that thing. Must we win election on the basis of a president dying for us? Can't we win it? We had an opportunity in PDP. All we needed to do was the other candidates to step down for Wike, but we were holding our grudge. He did this to me. He did that to me.
Mr. Raka, Yemi Osinbajo was just a regular citizen before he was picked as the VP. But this election, you saw that he also declared his intention to run for the presidency. You understand? So Wike would have accepted the VP request, and we take it from there. From one
anyway,
step,
for now,
to the other.
I can
So
categorically,
it should,
I can categorically tell you that the choice of Okowa is tentative. It's not even substantial yet. That's not been substantiated yet. So
Okowa is
let's
not
wait.
good there.
Let's wait then until they pick, because eventually all these running mates will be changed. Even APC will change their own. So let's wait and see. Every running mate they've chosen so far is just to beat the deadline. I can categorically tell you that yes. But the one for Atiku, it looks like it's going to stay that way. The reason why they chose Okowa is because Okowa has one leg in the south and one leg in the southeast. So it's going to be like the Igbo speaking part will speak on the fact that he's an Igbo, and then the south part will vote for him. So that was just the reason.
I don't think so. I don't think Igbo people.
So what's your reason for choosing Okowa? What do you think is your reason for choosing Okowa?
Because I think he's very loyal. Like what
so
you
loyal.
said before that.
Another man will choose because you are loyal. You have not to bring another man will choose you just for loyalty. You cannot bring vote from your place, and another man will choose you. My friend, tell me something I don't know. Another man will not choose you for just being loyal. Another man will choose you because you have political clout and you can bring vote from your region.
Political clout, nothing. He has no popular attributes.
But I'm telling you why they chose Okowa, because Okowa has a mixture of Igbo and South in him. That's why they chose him.
It doesn't matter, even though he has a mixture of Igbo.
Yes, it's still an animal. I'm telling you the reason why they chose him. Why do you like arguing this thing? I'm telling you what the reason why they chose him. You are arguing. If you have the answers, then leave me out. I'm telling you why they chose him. They chose him because they know that if they pick an Igbo man, I think he will not get any vote from East, because Peter Obi will take that. So why not pick somebody who has a link between South and Southeast? That's just the reason.
I don't know. Let me just argue. But Wike would have picked the VP request.
No, I don't want. I don't. Besides, an Atiku and a Wike no go blend. Now fight with fight every day.
But we want somebody that can really represent the South.
That's the reason why the North will never pick somebody. You think if that was when I saw people blaming Jonathan. I said, do you think if Jonathan was like a Wike as at the time, do you think the North will agree that Jonathan becomes vice to Yaradua? This is who he was. That's why they chose him. It was his gentility that earned him to become vice. And now they are choosing another vice again. They pick Okowa because they know he will not give any problem. If it was suspected that this person is going to give us a problem, they will choose him.
But I don't understand this. They said it was Wike that rejected the VP request, which means they wanted to choose him.
Because the reason why they brought this on to Wike, because if you agree to be vice, they are going to put somebody else as the party chairman. Wike now has more influence in PDP as not being a vice than having an influence in PDP as being a vice. Because being a vice will mean he has been subjugated. As I'm sure Wike might be angling for, if PDP wins, he will probably be angling for chairman of the party or Senate president. I'm sure that's the calculation. Or chief of defense staff. Any of those things. But for vice, based on my political consciousness of staying in the North, it was if Wike refused to be vice, that's the best decision he has ever made. For us who are emotionally attached to political analysis, you can't get it. That man knows the North very well. For the first time, we have a political juggernaut in the South who understands politics of the North. I wish I can meet him. Amigo first giver. You understand? I like it that way. Don't go and become vice. Today, Osinbajo, who is vice, what does he have? He has no influence in APC. He has no political relevance upon being a vice. All that he has now is that one-time vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that's all. And his biblical grammar that he carries along.
Mr. Raka. with Okowa being the running mate of Atiku, I think is giving more opportunity for APC to strive in this upcoming election.
That's not even true. That's not even true because in Nigeria, the Nigerian electorate does not vote on the basis of vice president. They vote on the basis of Atiku. I can tell you that the Northeast now they're even happy because somebody's not going to control him. Somebody's not going to. You see, the northern politicians enjoy this exuberance of being in power, of being in charge, of controlling you. That is who they are, and you will never change them. So when they see you, when they look at the options in the south, they weigh more than everything. Who is going to be loyal? Wike does not fit into that bill. So no matter what, whether it's going to, that one takes it. And I like the fact that in the event that tomorrow we are looking for somebody who is going to challenge the political geometrics of the north, at least and a Wike can come out. Let's build a political powerhouse in an individual that can say, okay, this is how I want this to be and to follow. But this is our jealousy, our ethnic jealousy, ethnic wickedness, ethnic self-centeredness. We'll not allow that to happen. Because the same people who say, Wike is too proud, Wike is too the Wike is too that, we are not the same us. I will give you an example. Do you know that the current Senate president didn't win his senatorial zone? Didn't win it. It was somebody else. But now they have spoken to the person and the person has stepped down for the current Senate president. Do you think if it was in the South, an election was conducted, one Southerner won as against the incumbent Senate president, do you think he would step down? Hello, I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Give it to the North. They have a way of settling their disputes. Without you and I, they will not quarrel about it. You will not hear about it. Social media will not, but they will settle it. But for we, it is do or it is fight to the death. Even though it's going to cost, even though it's going to cost the interest of the South, no problem. Let's fight it to the end. That is why we are where we are today.
You know, in the North, they are very united. The unity there is obvious. Unlike in the southern region, there's no unity in the south. So
as a matter of fact, after this electoral process, if any southerner come to social media and cry that the North is ruling us, we are Lord over, I will say, keep quiet. We had all the opportunity to take power, but we kept fighting this, our ethnic, this is there. Why didn't why didn't Wike step down for Peter Obi? Why didn't Peter Obi step down for this? Me, I'm not concerned whether who stepped down for. My important thing is that power comes to the South. If this APC had brought a vibrant Yoruba man, not a shaky Tinubu, I would have said, let's go for APC, even though I hate APC. But you can't give me an option that suggests I'm between the devil and the deep blue sea and ask me to choose one.
Mr. Raka,
yeah.
Because you want power to come to the South does not mean that any person that emerges from the South you have to support.
Absolutely, that I want power to the South. Fortunately, somebody who is capable is from the South should come in. Look, what I'm concerned about here is the psychology. You get me? It's the psychology. If you continuously allow one region to continue to rule, you leave a psychology in them that they own power and they are better than you. You get me? You don't. My problem when talking with you, Nekpe, is because you don't live in the North and probably you've not stayed in the North, so you will not even connect what I'm talking about. This will, even a shoe shiner in the street, he might come and be shining your shoe. He will collect your money quite okay, but bring political issues. When he starts talking, you know that even though he's squatting down, shining your shoes, he feels he's better than you. And why is this so? They are the one ruling you. We are living in a country whereby a region does nothing but eat something. Monkey they walk, babu they chop. They don't do anything. Have you gone to our secretariat, our federal secretariat in Abuja? Just knock any door and enter director of this, director of that. They are all northerners. Just what the other day I was in a federal secretariat. When you enter this office, director Aboki, you knock on the other door, enter Aboki. You see, these things are not reported, and nobody is crying. Nobody has the opportunity to say, okay, let me come and say what is happening. We just keep quiet about it until maybe there's a judicial panel of inquiry. Then all this thing I'm saying, you are going to see that one Navy officer, or intelligence officer, came on air and was talking about Nigerian issues. Now, if he didn't come to say it, if I had come to say, you say it's a lie. That man said that the problem of Nigeria is Islam. But if I come to say it now, you say, no, I don't do religion, I don't play religion. Now, Islam is a very beautiful religion. There's nothing wrong with Islam. But the type of Islam some people are practicing in Nigeria is the one that is causing problem here.
Yeah,
Islam
like
preaches peace. Yeah, Islam preaches peace. Islam preaches peace, but how do you say Islam preaches peace, yet you cut off somebody's neck and then you shout Allah Akbar, God be praised, on account of the dastard act you have exhibited? So the type of Islam that a group of people are practicing in Nigeria is not peaceful at all. And the type of Christianity also that a group of pastors are also practicing, the commercial type of Christianity that has suddenly become prevalent in Nigeria now, is also not good. Because the type of Christianity we are practicing is the type of Christianity that depletes the common sense of their followers. They tell you to eat grass, you eat grass. They tell you to bring your money, bring your money. So religion is a serious problem in Nigeria. It's a serious problem in Nigeria. And it's just so sad that we're not going to experience any development. So long as, if the choice remains among these two, Tinubu is coming to power on account of the fact that it is his turn, or it is the turn of Yoruba man. He said it. I didn't say it for him. Atiku is coming. Do you know one thing? Obasanjo challenged Atiku that he will never be president of this Nigeria. And one thing I know with a Fulani man very well is that they don't forget. For you, you may have said that thing 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you think it has passed. But the Fulani man never forgets. He will never forget. So even if it's one day, just to tell Obasanjo that you said I was not going to be president and I'm president today. So these people are coming to rule on account of personal grudges, personal vendetta, personal bitterness. They are not even looking at Nigeria. They're not looking at the challenges bedeviling Nigeria right now. They're just looking at their personal CV. I'm going to die as the president of Nigeria. I'm going to die as the president of Nigeria. Nobody's looking at who truly that is really connected to the problem faced by Nigeria. We have Nigerians dying as if life no longer means anything in Nigeria. Doesn't that bother you?
Tinubu cannot even count steps. And
you get me? We have people are dying. People are dying. Our bomb blast. Imagine Nigeria has become so porous that people can actually walk into a church and shoot people sporadically. Nigeria has become porous that they can actually follow a lawmaker, catch him and behead him. Nigeria has become so useless that our naira is just diving as if somebody who fell from a skyscraper dashing down. From 300 naira, we are now counting 6 something. And I'm sure that before Buhari leaves, it could be 700. Prices of things are now skyrocketing. Gari and granite, that used to be a fast food, something you just, bad as I never chop. Gari and granite, that used to be a fast food in Nigeria, is now a solid budget meal. Gari and granite, you can prepare gari and granite with 100 naira. But now, 100 naira cannot prepare you gari and granite. Sugar 50, granite 100, gari 150, 300 naira. And that 300 naira, before you go to a restaurant and buy a whole complete meal and sit down like a majestic customer and eat it. But now, you see, Nigeria has gone very bad. And if anybody is not connected to how bad Nigeria is, and because of how bad it is, what should inform you is who to come and change it. Rather, after suffering these 8 years, after being a victim of how Nigeria is bad, you are still using the same criteria that informed your choice of bringing this evil that brought us to where we are, to also choose them again and recycle them again, so we continue another 8 years of this suffering. Then We have no reason or justification to start complaining that Nigeria is bad. We should be suffering like this. It is the same people, the same system, the same. They've not hidden. They've not hidden their MOs. They have not hidden their modus of operandi. They are still who they are. They are leopards that can't change their spots. The same method they've used to gain relevance or recognition, they are using the same method. They told us, yes, we are the ones who stole Nigerian money. We are the ones who left Nigeria dry like this. And we are going to use the same money we stole from you, the masses, to buy you to get us back. They first impoverish you, make you become very poor. So that when they give you money, you don't begin to reason rationally. What? How do you expect my wife now? My wife that is a P2B fan now, give her 62 million naira. She will vote for Tinubu. 62 million naira, you know, vote for Tinubu. Me and you and my family all will vote for Tinubu. With 62 million, we will go vote for Tinubu. This hunger all day, you know, vote. So this is what they do. Well, they not joke at the joke. Oh. The truth is that they impoverish you. When they impoverish you, they give you less than what you deserve. And because you see that, well, this thing they're offering me can take me out of the suffering that I'm facing in the moment, it drives you to make decision that is going to keep them for a very long time. So that is it. From the comment you see on your face on your line, because I can't see the comments here. You should know that they are not willing to change. The psyche of the masses have been depleted. We have been deflated. So anybody with rubbish can come and say to us, and we accept.
Okay, if Mr. Raka.
Yeah.
Mr. Raka, let's read some of their comments.
Okay.
Let's read. The same person that said the interim president that predicted
Tunde Bakare.
Yes, Don Raymond.
Well, before you read it, the only way there will not be the only way that there will not be election in 2023 is if they've calculated that Peter B is going to win, then there will not be election. And if that happens, I'm afraid then there will be problem in this country. The only way that there might not be election is if they've calculated that it is not going to be Tinubu or Peter B that will win. It is if they calculate that it is Peter B that is going to win based on the atmosphere, there will not be election.
Okay, let me read. Don Raymond, the same person, he said obedience fans are from another planet. They don't want the truth. This man hates for Buhari is something else. Buhari performances is more than Jonathan, except Buhari, insecurity and political tribalism. So when it comes to corruption fighting, I think I agree with Raymond. But for insecurity and political tribalism, because we know that Buhari is very tribalistic. So that one I agree. Jonathan was not tribalistic at all. But when it comes to corruption fighting, Buhari is more.
So all these snake that were swallowing money, monkey that swallowed money in Buhari regime is not corruption. The $80 billion naira is not corruption. You see, it's amazing that if only the media was as vocal as they were in Jonathan's time. You understand me? Was it not in this same Jonathan regime that able, educated human beings were told that Jonathan is a drunkard, that he drinks and become naked in office? And people who are expected to be intellectually sound believe that trash, that Jonathan become drunk and they will be seeing his penis. They believed it. So if the media was as vocal as they were during Jonathan's time, you will see that the level of corruption in this Buhari, that I hate Buhari. So what? I hate what is bad. I don't hate him as a human being, but I hate the failure. You brought, what's his name, Sani. Sani too has displayed unequivocal hatred for Peter Obi and the Igbos in general. So why do you blame if I come and show that I am not hating Buhari? I am angry at him. If you equate my anger for Buhari's failure to hatred for Buhari, then you go. And by the way, I'm sure that account is fake because not anybody answering Desmond, whatever, will be writing that kind of thing in support for Buhari. So that account is even fake. So I will save my strength answering him.
I'm trying to read. Please, guys, leave meaningful comments here so that I can read it.
No, they can leave any comments now. Somebody who is telling you that Tunde Bakare will become interim.
So there's one other comment here, Mr. Raka. Let me read this. He said the truth is Derek from Derek Osa Idehe. The truth is Peter Obi is not ready. Social media are the ones pushing him, just like the way they push Owore without structure. So
I will not respond to that. It's not important.
Respond,
These comments you are reading, they are just paid agents. I have told you, I've brought example, I've sampled the public, I've brought them to you.
So how can they pay many people like this? Who is paying them? Nobody. Is anybody? When I was asking some questions earlier, you said what? You know, anybody didn't
okay, Peter B has no future. Can we stop bringing him into the equation? Because we keep, we're the ones who will talk about when we are talking. It's not, these are not the only 3 candidates that are vying for the presidency. I think there are about 7 of them, if not 10. You get me? Don't forget, Pastor Chris Okotie is also coming out. Shore is coming out. Kwankwaso is coming out. So why are we not talking about these people? So why, if Peter B has no hope, why do you talk about him? That's my problem. You say social media. You say it's social media. Those that are going to vote for voters card, is it in social media? Are they registering for voters card? Those that are bringing fence down to go and vote for PVC, is it in social media? Are they voting for the PVC? Those that are breaking fences down, are breaking gates. Those that are staying in sun, that we are seeing them going to get PVC, is it in social media they are getting the PVC? So my problem is that we are not ready. All those that are, so are we saying, okay, leave Peter B out, let's settle for these 2 thieves? Because Tinubu is a thief, Atiku is a thief. So we're okay with them. We are used to the fact that politicians can actually go and steal money and flounder it in front of us, showcase it in front of us. Can you imagine somebody showing me video of Tinubu buying about, is it 500 and something SUVs? 500 and something SUV at 13 million naira each.
Mr. Raka, let me read this comment. There's one other comment. It said, good afternoon from Kelly Sunday. Good afternoon from me. My question, I am not after whoever will win as a president. My question is, any president that cannot deal with corruption, that country is dead. So this person is not biased. He has no specific candidate he's supporting, but he's just saying that anyone who is fit to manage.
I don't like this type of thinking at all.
You see, you will like.
Maybe I see. My problem with coming to programs like this is because if I didn't grow up in the north, I would have been talking like this. I'm not concerned wherever the president come from. I'm not concerned about the religion of the president, so long as they give us performance. But I have stayed in the north, and no Hausa man will ever say that. No Fulani man will ever say that I'm not bothered where the president come from, provided he can give this thing. No Hausa man will ever tell that it doesn't matter whether it's Christian, provided they can deliver. No Hausa man will say so. So if they can't say so, why are we saying so? Because we can only, spread an equal mental state when the sample is even or equal. You cannot expect me to be rational when the people I'm rationalizing for are irrational. You want me to be rational and say it doesn't matter, it can be Muslim candidate, but tomorrow when it becomes Christian candidate, they will say, God forbid, there will be riots, there will be burning Christians in the north. You don't tell me that nonsense. This is where your type of education misleads you in respect to the uniqueness of the Nigerian politics. In Nigerian politics, you don't play that rationality of I don't bother this, because I've told you, Western education is not equipped to understand the unique political reference or political structure of Nigeria. You can't do that. It will take the grace of God. It will take the grace of God for you to be reasoning the way I'm reasoning.
Mr. Rock, I understand you. With Mr. Sani coming to this program, It just personifies the possession of the North, of the Northerners. So I understand where you are
If I
coming
didn't
from.
bring, if I didn't bring Sani to this program, as I'm talking, you would have stopped me long ago, because I know you would have stopped me long ago. So because of the likes of Sani that exists, you can't expect me to be rational. When I know Mr. Sani will never be rational. Mr. Sani will never support a Christian candidate to rule this country. Never. Mr. Sani will never accept a Christian to hand over to another Christian. Talk less of an Igbo handed over to another Igbo. He will never. In fact, Mr. Sani will never allow an Igbo to rule this country. It's because of the lack of Mr. Sani that has made me to look beyond the IPOB menace and said, okay, I will start supporting them, irrespective of whether IPOB they kill or what. Because come to look at it, you want me to hate Peter Obi because he is associated with Biafra, but you don't see anything wrong with Atiku, who is a Fulani man, and Fulanis are associated with herdsmen and bombing. It's okay to discredit Peter Obi because he is related to Biafra, but it's okay to accept Atiku, who is a Fulani man, but you don't relate to Fulani herdsmen. Look, our biggest problem is the Southerners themselves. With this rubbish intellectual correctness, I don't want to be tribalistic. I don't want to be religiously biased. You think to be religiously biased is wrong? No, sir, it's not. You think to be you see, you can be tribalistic for the positive reason, and you can be tribalistic for the negative reason. You can be tribalistic for the negative reason when you know that the person on the basis of which you are voting him on a tribal basis is not going to perform, yet you are still willing to bring him on the basis of tribalism. That is negative tribalism. If you are going to vote for somebody that is your tribe because he is good and can deliver, that is positive tribalism. But what we have now is negative tribalism. You are seeing this man. This man is not where you are. In one of the program, I'm seeing somebody say that I could die before him. Yes, it's true. I could die before Tinubu. But that is unnatural. He is older than me. It is only natural to think that the older you get, the quicker you are to your grave. I am growing up. When I reach a certain age, it is called life expectancy, not sentimental expectancy. A man who cannot raise the flag up, and for you to lack the coordination of your hand, it has to do with brain. It's a cerebral problem. It's a nervous problem, and it is the brain that controls your nervous system. So if your brain already has a problem, it's not like the engine of a car. Once the engine of a car has an issue, there's a tendency that those issues will degenerate into other issues in that engine that will eventually affect the car. With the current challenges of Nigeria, we cannot afford to put Nigeria into the hands of somebody who has medical challenges.
Mr. Sani, yesterday, I asked him, he said it doesn't really matter that Tinubu looks so fragile right now, that he's not going to play soccer as a president.
I can tell you that Mr. Sani, if Mr. Tinubu as he was now was a Christian, I can tell that if Tinubu was a Christian, he would have been the first person pointing all those this same thing. If Tinubu were to be a Christian, he would have been the first person pointing out that Tinubu's hand is shaking. The man is not well. The man is not this. These people are bloody extremists. They will tell you they are not extremists, but in truth they are extremists. Everything about Sani is Islamic extremism. Everything about him is Islamic extremism. These are people that will never look at the future of Nigeria if it is not tied to Islamic consideration. Yes, I said so. They will never seek for what is best for Nigeria if it is not tied to defend Islamic interests. And yet they will be the first to attack you that you are being tribalistic. They will be the first to attack you that you are religiously biased. When everything about them resonates religious bias and tribal inclination. So because I've stayed with them, I have been wired not to fall for this act of strategy of misdirection. I cannot fall for that. You understand me? You know, attack first before being attacked. That's their strategy. The reason why they know Tinubu is not fit. They know it. They know it, and they're going to give him one advice that in the case of the Yaradua incident happening again, well, they'll get another strong imam that will Look, anytime you are talking with me in politics and it concerns the northern politics, always know that what drives the likes of Sani and his political voters is Nigeria say malam.
Nigeria say malam. Okay.
And there is no core northern Muslim. See, if they catch you in the polling unit, as a Muslim man voting for a non-Muslim, there's a serious, you might be killed or your house may be burnt.
I know that they are very ideological. These people are very ideological.
So some people may want to go and vote for their choices, but because of fear of being identified, they will be forced to vote for popular this thing. If you don't come out, there's a problem. And if you come out, you must vote for the popular opinion. That's why you see their votes are always in bulk. Because the election there is not free. By free, it means you are able to vote for your choice. You get me? There was one instance in Jos here. You know, Jos, Plateau State is shared into Muslim area and Christian area. A man went and bought pure water for the electoral people that coordinate the election there. His car was burnt because it was suspected that he was supporting PDP then.
Yes.
So until we have proper vote, come and tell one Christian man here that it doesn't matter if it is Muslim. Come and tell one Christian man in Plateau State and see if they don't slap you. So I don't like the fact that I am talking like this. Trust me, I don't like it. But because I know there are people who be hell-bent of not seeing a Christian candidate. So why would I accept a Muslim candidate? You understand where I'm coming from now? If it was going to be the same thing from the other end, then I would say, okay, I know it doesn't really matter whether it's a Muslim candidate. But I know 150% sure that no Muslim man in the north will ever agree that there should be a Christian. It's not possible. Plateau State that is predominantly Christians, Muslims that are neighboring to Plateau State are angry that every time election comes out, that the governor is always Christian in Plateau State. Plateau State that is not your state, you are angry that that's the combination. That's saying that Plateau State is in the north, and therefore it must represent not Christian and Muslims.
It's in the middle belt. It's not in the north.
They don't care. They want to establish their dominance here. Anyway, this is not why we are here, because I don't want to talk so much. Some of these I'm telling you are things that people ordinarily will not have the liver or the effrontery or the boldness, the audacity to come and talk online. But I say this because they are real. They are real. You understand me? I can call that same boy again. You ask him, what is the rate of killing in Jos? He will tell you every day. Every day there must be incidents of killing. But they won't report it. News will not carry it. The only time they'll carry news is maybe when the indigenous retaliates and they kill one Fulani man. News will carry it. Because it's a Fulani man they killed. So, and you want a situation whereby these killings, these Boko Haram, as sophisticated as they have penetrated the reason, another reason why I want Peter Obi is this. Let me even come on. Another reason why I want Peter Obi, you see, these terrorists, they have penetrated the system. They are holding position in the system. They are in the military, they are in the civil service, they are everywhere. They penetrated it. Now, if you are bringing people who are already in the system to come and change the system, how do you think they are going to change it when they know who are these things? They know who are them. But if you bring somebody who is not in the system, there's a more likelihood that person will change these things than somebody who is already in the system. Are you telling me that Osibanjo does not know who are members of the terrorists that are in government? He knows. But he can't do anything because his hands are tied. And if he comes in again, the people who is loyal to will stop him from taking actions. Do you think a Peter Obi will compromise security when he comes in? No.
No.
Do you think a Tinubu will compromise this thing, you cannot say categorically yes. Do you think an article will compromise insecurity? Because this is a man who couldn't stand firm in a simple decision of a tweet. Simple, just common tweet when he posts. He couldn't stand firm on a tweet. Is it when he now takes a decision that, okay, certain terrorists should go and be killed? You think he will not, when they not react, he will not change his mind?
That's why we want to be vice president to Atiku so that he can help Nigeria with this insecurity.
You still don't know. The role of the vice president is as useless as toilet paper. I don't know you Southerners. What is wrong with us? The constitution does not give any power to vice president.
Compare Mr. Raka. I understand, depend on the vice president. When Atiku was a vice to Obasanjo, you see how active he was.
He just made noise, but he didn't influence anything. He just see the constitution does not give any executive power. You see, my sister, let's not look. You are the one talking about reality, that the truth is bitter. Now I'm telling you another truth. The constitution does not give any executive power whatsoever to the vice president. They only gave them power to decide economy, just the economic power, to write plan on the economy. Even at the end of the day, the constitution still take that power away from him, because whatever he discussed is going to be vetted by the Senate president, where they will say, all the people say aye, the Northerners will say nay. They say nays have it. So either way you look at it, the North has pegged something that will always make them have the last say at the end of the day in this country. So as a vice president, you really have no power. If I must blame Jonathan, there's only one place I will blame Jonathan. And that's the fact that he was not in touch with what being an executive president of the Federal Republic is. He didn't know what power was. He didn't know what it is to be power, to be the Nigerian head of state. He was trying to play correctness. Well, let me play in the interest of fairness. These people don't understand fairness. What they understand is superior power. What they understand is you either be under them or show them you can be above them. That is the only language you understand. All this idea of let us once they notice weakness in you, they are going to push you away. That's what Jonathan did. He showed them that he was weak. That's why they around, they toyed him around and booted him out. So you are talking about the truth. Well, my type of truth may not be your truth, but hey, this is how I see it. I stand to be corrected.
Mr. Raka. Guys, if you are watching right now and today is your first time of visiting our channel,
they can call in if they want to call in. They can call in if they want to call in.
Please consider subscribing. And if you want to call in, the phone is on. I just switched on the phone right now. Call in and let us hear from the viewers. Please call in.
My biggest problem with a Southerner, is the fact that he thinks that there is a rule of behavior in politics. Even though he knows that politics is a dirty game, he believes that you must play by the dictates of the rationality of Western education. So when you see things that are religious, you shouldn't talk about it. When you see things that are tribal, you should. Can you separate a Yoruba man from tribalism? When the bulk of okay,
someone is calling now. Yes.
Yeah. What Mr. Raka is Solomon that always call you in Spain.
Oh,
what Mr.
Solomon
Raka is saying
Spain.
is the truth. Yes, Solomon, yes. I told you I was in the north. I was brought up in Kafanchan, Kaduna State. So what Mr. Raka is saying is just the truth. No Muslim will allow Christian ticket in Nigeria. It will never happen. It will never work. They will not allow it. They will not allow it to work. When it comes, and some of our Christian were betrayer, it never happen. There's no how that you can see Christian ticket in Nigeria today that they will allow it to happen. And by the grace of God, Tinubu will fail, because he's going to fail, because by the time he pick that Masari he pick, I know that he will change that man. That man will not be the last person. He will later change that man. but he will still pick a Muslim ticket, but he's going to fail. I love what you people are doing. God will continue to bless you. I'm watching you live.
Okay,
what
thank you.
Mr. Oraka is saying is the truth.
Yes, I know.
That's my contribution.
Thank you.
I know they are secret. I've been with them also. So
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, can you speak their language?
Yeah, it's Solomon from Spain.
Ask him, can he speak their language?
Yes, of course, he can speak the language.
So,
right? He said he has been calling you.
So the truth is that if you are not staying in the north, you will never understand what I'm talking about. You will never understand what I'm talking about. They can be friendly, honestly, to be very frank. The most humane people when it comes to relating with people are the northerners. But you see, once it comes to that religion, it doesn't matter whether you have stayed 20 years with them, whether you have stayed 50 years with them. Once it comes to that religion, they said, Sabua de Kaza, Baya Hana Yankawa. Did you hear that one? Hello?
No.
Hello?
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I said, did you hear that one? I said, there's another the ideology that guides them. It said, Sabua de Kaza, Baya Hana Yankawa. That means it doesn't matter how long you have stayed with the chicken. Doesn't matter how much relationship you have developed with your chicken. When it comes to cutting it, you will cut it.
Oh Lord.
So it doesn't matter how familiar you are with the chicken. When the time comes to cut it, you will cut it. Imagine a people holding that kind of ideology even existing in the minds of a people.
We are waiting for someone else to call. Call in, please. If you are watching right now, the phone is available.
I think I have 17 minutes more to stay.
Let's hear from Nigerians. Please call in. Okay, somebody else is calling. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good evening. Thank you. Where are you calling from?
This is Festus. I'm calling from Denmark.
Okay, Festus from Denmark. Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, tell us.
Actually, I'm your fan, but this is my first time of calling on your live program.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Again, I would thank Mr. Oriaka too. He's doing a very marvelous job too for this analysis.
Yes.
I just want to make a little contribution, I think we in the South, we have played into the hands of this Northerner for so long, and then we sold our pride, because there's no unity among us. So that is why they are taking us for a ride every time, So from all the security agencies, there's no position that is being given to Satana in any strategic position that will say, okay, this is where they can build security, because they have an agenda, I don't care to know if Peter Obi has structure or not. I think we that are living in the diaspora, we are the structure of Mr. Peter Obi. He has a very good track record. People are saying, oh, what has he done? What has he? He has not been, he wasn't a vice president before. He wasn't the Senate president before. He has not been the president of Nigeria. He's a self-made man, and he doesn't throw his money around.
He was the former governor of Anambra State.
Yes, two-time governor of Anambra State, and he has a good record in Anambra State. I think me and my household, Obaseki was booted out of APC. He had nowhere to run to. He ran to PDP, and everybody shouted Obaseki. He won, So this is exactly what is going to happen in the 2023, because I see political revolution. The youth are clamoring for change, and this is how the change will begin. Watch out, a very large number of people living in diaspora today, they are reaching out to their people, to their families in Nigeria. We cannot remain like this. I am from Edo State,
Fulani herdsmen are all over the place in my community. My parents cannot go to farm. My brothers cannot be on the street because everywhere is surrounded by the Fulanis. If we allow them to pull their trigger, Nigeria will go inflate. So anybody that is wise this time will not say Tinubu because they have an agenda. Tinubu, if you think Tinubu is our Messiah, he installed this government. He worked with Buhari. Okay, why don't you influence Buhari now to stop this killing? Why don't you influence Buhari now to change the economy for good?
Correct, guy.
No, you can do it. And apart from that, look at his age. You know what will somebody like that come to do in power? Instead of you to go to the elder group and then you start taking care of your grandchildren, your grandchildren start taking care of you. You want to go to Aso Rock.